arriving on our mat, arriving in our seat. And I'm going to be talking about one of the niyamas today, Ishvara Pranidhana, which is means basically surrendering to something that's larger than you. So for some people, they want to, they immediately consider God. It might be the universe. It might be this pandemic. It might be a partner, love, something that's bigger than you. And just taking some expansive breaths and noticing your seat and hips. See if you can let them soften. Maybe the glutes too. Sometimes when we're sitting, we clench our glutes or outer hips. And just placing that intention of surrender into your heart. We'll open our eyes and inhale, reach your arms up tall, lengthening. Exhale, press the palms down. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, down. One more. Exhale. And then let's bring our hands to our shoulders, just circle the elbows, releasing and moving the shoulders a little. And then let's circle the whole torso. Big stirring motions. A few in each direction. Then coming back to center, we'll come into our first gentle twist. So sitting tall, we'll inhale and reach our arms up again. And then we're going to lengthen the spine and imagine moving from the inside outward. So moving so slowly to the left, and then pausing when you get to the first stopping point and just lower your hands down wherever they fall. And then on your inhale, lengthen the spine some more. On your exhale, let's gently try to twist a little bit more to the left. So the twist moves into the upper back and the shoulders, upper spine, into the neck. So our head turns and then our gaze stretches behind us. Inhale back to the center, reaching your arms up, gently unwinding. And bring your hands to your heart and just pause and notice. Bring your attention to the back. Feel sensations, and perhaps you don't feel anything yet, but just taking a moment to observe. On the next inhale, reach the arms up. Lengthen, and then gently begin your twist, moving from the spine. Let the hands press down. Inhale, lengthening, and gently turning your head, finding the twist in the upper back. Inhale back to the center, reach your arms up. And then exhale, fold forward, reaching your arms forward as much as they slide. Little low back stretch. Inhale, come back up. And then you can remove your blankets to the side. Bring your hands behind your back and just puff up your torso, a gentle back bend. Pressing hands into the floor. Exhale, release. And then we'll come into actually, let's come to table first. And let's move our spine forward and back a couple times. So cat-cow. First, we'll take the cow. So inhaling, tipping forward, looking up. Exhaling, rounding your spine, spreading the shoulder blades on your back, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding. One more. And then come back to the center. And we're going to come into a yogi squat. So come first into a soft forward fold with knees softly bent, feet a little wider than hip distance, tipping forward. And then gently turning your toes outward, hands to your heart, elbows gently pressing into the inside of your knees. Breathing here. And then we're going to add a little gentle twist here, but I want you to be aware of your sitting bones. So you're going to keep your hips stable. And then you'll place your left hand down. Try to make sure your hips stay level. Reach your right hand up, gazing at the thumb. Exhale, release the right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. Observing your sitting bone and hips. Making sure they feel level. And then exhale, lower the left hand. And just press into the floor, coming back into forward fold. You can hold the elbows here. Maybe sway the head and arms side to side. Release the arms. Press into your feet evenly. Inhale, rise up to standing, reaching the arms up. All the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now let's just pause here for a moment, maybe placing your hands on your heart and taking a moment to honor whatever it is that you surrender to. So also practicing acceptance. And when I think of surrender, I don't think of being, I think it is more of an acceptance rather than, say, being submissive, like you are not, you are worthy, yet you accept something is bigger than you. So honoring whatever that is. And then open your eyes, inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up at the thumbs, exhale, fold. And then let's come into a half forward fold, pressing your hands into the mat or your shins. And then we'll step our left foot back into a low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then here, let's bring our hands to our waist. Once again, find level hips. Lift, lengthen, and then reach your arms up. We're going to turn to the right. So just like we did at the gentle twist, moving at the beginning, moving from the inside, turning towards the right. Maybe you can gaze at your right thumb. And if that's too much of a balance challenge, just look to the right, the wall at the right. Engage the core. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step back to a downward facing dog. And let's just take a couple breaths here, pedaling the feet. And then pause in stillness. Drawing in the low belly. Sending the inner thighs towards the wall behind you. Make sure you're pressing evenly into the soles of the feet and your hands. And then on the next inhale, let's step our left foot forward, coming to low lunge. Release the right knee, float your arms up. Find stability here. Bring your hands to your waist. Nice level hips, draw in the low belly. And then once again, reach your arms up and we'll begin to turn to the left. Reaching arms out wide. Maybe gazing back to the left thumb or looking towards the left wall. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale. Let's step through table to a child's pose. Hands back by your feet and take 3 breaths. Once again, remembering your intention. Ishvara Pranidhana. There's a quote I'll read to you from Brene Brown. She says, spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, grounded in love and compassion. So there it is, perfectly stated. On the next inhale, bring your hands back around to the front, curl your toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then slowly walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Soft knees, shake the head, yes and no. And then on the next inhale, rise up to standing, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Up, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank. Press through the heels. Lower your knees, hug the elbows in, lower the torso. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, hips back to the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward, lower your right heel down, reach your arms up. Warrior one, or Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to draw the low belly in, lift your spine out of the pelvis. Exhale, hands down to the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank, lower the knees, hug the elbows in, lower the torso. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, lower your left heel, reach the arms up. Warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And then on the next inhale, we'll walk our feet to our hands, hanging in forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, soften, fold. Press firmly into the bottoms of the feet evenly. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay. This time we're going to add a little twist in our warrior one. So same thing, but with a twist. Inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up at the thumbs. Exhale, fold, soft knees. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Draw the low belly in. Try to bring your weight into the heels. I noticed I leaned forward there. Weight into the heels. And then exhale, step back to plank. Let's lower the knees, lower the torso, glide the heart forward to cobra. Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, finding a nice stable warrior one. So you can even bring your hands to your hips here. Make sure that you feel really stable because we're going to twist. Feet nice and steady and rooted. And then let's float the arms up. Draw the low belly in. Imagine twisting from the spine, from the center, twisting to the left. Make sure your left knee doesn't splay out to the side. You can gaze at your left thumb. Inhale back to the center. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the torso, Bhujangasana, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward. Warrior one. Keep your hands at your hips. Find stability in your lower half. And then inhale, float the arms up. On the next exhale, begin to revolve to the right. Moving from the inside out. Always making sure that the outer body is in agreement with the inner body on how far you should twist. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Lengthen your spine, and then we'll work on stretching the back of the legs a little bit more. So you can either hold on to the shins or hold on to your big toes with your peace fingers, index and middle finger. Bend the elbows out to the sides and tip forward, gently stretching the back of the legs. Try to keep your weight in your heels. And then release the toes. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Lengthen your spine, and then we'll work on stretching the back of the legs a little bit more. So you can either hold on to the shins or hold on to your big toes with your peace fingers, index and middle finger. Bend the elbows out to the sides and tip forward, gently stretching the back of the legs. Try to keep your weight in your heels. And then release the toes. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay. Let's step our left foot back, preparing for triangle. And have your block handy so you can place it outside your right foot. So we'll float our arms up and then dip forward, lower right hand down to the block, left hand to your waist. You can keep your right knee gently bent here and then try to bring your right ear over your ankle so we're not leaning forward but bringing our head back as though we're being smushed nice between two panes of glass. That looks great. You can stay here or you can float your top arm up. 2 more breaths. And then release the top hand. Bend your front knee, rise up into warrior two. So feet widen a little bit. Gaze over your front hand. And then release your hands to your hips. And we'll work with pyramid. So hop your left foot in slightly. And remember, we have our railroad track feet for pyramid. And we'll just place our block in the center of the mat. Hands on the hips. And we're going for the length of the spine, not the stretch of the back of the leg so much today. So exhale, fold forward. Lower your hands to the block and just imagine reaching your tailbone back and the top of your head forward. And we are getting a hamstring stretch here. But keep trying to reach your head forward, draw in the low belly so we're working our core muscles. And then we're going to practice revolved triangle next. So inhale back up. You can bring your, actually let's put our block just inside the right foot. It's a little bit of a gentler twist. And make sure that your left heel's on the ground. Inhaling, floating our arms up. Exhale, fold like we're coming into a pyramid. Left hand comes to the block, right hand to our waist. Lengthen the spine. And then begin to revolve towards the right, thinking lengthening spine the whole time, making sure your outer body is in agreement with the inner body, revolving. And then you can float the right arm up, maybe gaze at the thumb if your neck is okay with that. If it's not, you can look straight ahead. Keep thinking about lengthening the spine. And then exhale, unwind. You can lower your hands to the block, turn the hips forward, and just step your left foot forward so you're in a Uttanasana, forward fold. Press into the feet, inhale, rise up to standing, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, now we have to do all that on the other side. So I'm going to turn sides so that you can see the correct side of me. So this time we'll step our right foot back for triangle. Arms float up, tip forward, lower your left hand down to the block. Right hand to your waist. And then think about revolving your heart forward, bringing your head back over your left ankle. Maybe float your right arm up. Exhale, lower your right hand, bend your left knee, rise up into warrior two, looking out over your left hand. And then let's lower our hands, just hop your right foot in, Bringing your feet into railroad track feet. So we're getting ready for pyramid. Placing the block in the center of the mat. And then with hands on your hips, lengthen the spine up. Exhale, bend forward. Hands down to the blocks, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Breathe. Press into the four corners of both feet. Draw in the low belly. Keep trying to reach the top of the head forward. And then soften the left knee, rise back up to standing. Let's hop our right foot in just maybe an inch. And we'll lower our block down just right inside the left foot. Getting ready for revolve triangle. So inhale, reach the right arm up, left hand on your waist. Exhale, fold, lengthen the spine. Lower your right hand down to the block. And then hug the inner thighs together like scissors, revolving to the left. Trying to find length in the spine. Reach the top of the head forward. And then if you feel steady, you can float the left arm up. Exhale, unwinding. Come back to center and we'll step our right foot forward into forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay. Pause. Remember your intention. And then let's come back to the top of our mat. We're going to grab the strap. So we're working on a standing balance with our strap. It's standing hand to foot with our twist. So first we're just going to work on standing hand to foot and then we'll add the twist. Let's start on standing on the right foot. So I have my hands on my hips, lift the left knee, find stability, and then hook the strap on the left foot, and then we need to find stability again. Make sure our hips are level, draw in the low belly, lengthen the spine, lift the collarbones, extend the left foot out, reaching through the heel. And if you can't straighten the leg the whole way, that's okay. Think about lifting the top of the head, pressing into your right foot so the inside and the outside of the leg are working, and then exhale, let's release the left foot. Okay, left foot, hooking the strap on the right. Take a moment, find your stability. Extend the right leg. Lift the collarbones, open the shoulders. Lift the top of the head. Try to engage the inner and outer sides of your standing leg. And then release. Let's do a little, just a little sway. So we'll stand, you can watch me first if you want. Standing on the right foot again. Lifting the left knee. Finding stability. Rooting. Don't extend the left leg until you're stable. So I keep wobbling. I have to find the right place in my carpeted floor. And then extend, draw in the belly, lengthen the spine, revolve from the spine to the left. You can keep your left hand at your waist.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's try that. Standing on the right foot, hook the strap, extend the leg, find stability, nice level hips, lift the collarbones, and then begin to revolve, lift and revolve to the left. Release, and let's take a little spiral. Let's actually sit on our blanket for the next couple of postures. Okay, so feet flexed. Engage your sitting bones, or not engage them, level the sitting bones. Exhale, forward folding, belly button towards the thighs. You can soften the knees if you're feeling too much stretch. And then let the hands rest wherever they rest. Breathing. Try to reach and aim the belly button towards the thighs for this first part. And then you can round the upper back, letting the head rest down. Inhale, rise. Let's bring the left foot to the inner right thigh. Sit nice and tall. Exhale, tip forward, aiming the belly button towards the outside of the right thigh. Turning our gaze just outside the right leg and tipping forward. Inhale, rise. We'll switch legs. Exhale, aim your belly button outside the left thigh, lean forward. Inhale, rise. And let's remove our blanket, come down onto our back. Hug your knees into the belly. Let's just circle our knees a couple times in each direction. And then place your feet on the ground. Grab your block, put it between the knees, and then pressing firmly into the feet, squeeze your block. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling into bridge. Pressing the tops of your arms into the floor, the palms into the floor, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other under you. Exhale, slowly lower. Remove the block. And then let's do a little bit of core work. So send your feet up toward the ceiling. Lift your torso and arms. Gaze towards your belly button. Flex the feet, breathe. 10 slow, deep breaths here. Exhale, hug your knees into your belly. All right, now bring your knees over the hips, shins and feet level to the floor. Press the low back into the floor, and then you can move your hands out to the sides slightly, like 45 degrees from your hips. And then let's send our knees over to the left. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, knees to the right. So just back and forth slowly like a pendulum, keeping the core engaged the whole time. Nice and slow and controlled. And release, hug the knees in. Okay, now let's just shift our hips to the right an inch, and then lower your knees over to the left. You can look up to the ceiling, or you can turn your head and look to the right, out over your right hand. Letting the exhales lengthen. Breathing starting to slow down. Surrendering. Remembering your intention. Honoring whatever it is that's larger than you. And then slowly bring your knees back to the center. Let's shift our hips over to the left slightly. Let our knees fall down to the right. And again, you can look up to the ceiling or over to the left. to the center. And let's just windshield wiper our knees. So feet hip distance, just swish knees side to side. And now it's time to settle down into Shavasana. Corpse pose, final resting pose. Drawing the shoulder blades gently underneath you. Kind of lengthen your neck, breaking your chin towards your collarbones. Let the toes rest out to your sides. Swallow a couple times. Let the eyes drop shut and allow your eyes to just sink into their sockets. And maybe taking a cleansing breath in and a sigh breath out. Just dropping into stillness. Slowly letting your breath lengthen, come back to normal. Noticing your body resting on the floor, observing. And I'll read Brene Brown's quote again. Spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, grounded in love and compassion.